There we go. Beautiful. There you go, good. There we go, good. You did good. We got it. Back. There we go, good. There you go, good.
I'm okay. I mean, a little tightness in the neck, which is pretty normal.
Okay, get you. All right, just a little forward there. Get your back here. Right shoulder blade's a little bit more posterior here. A little bit more towards the back. Yeah, and that's usually going to reflect some pain down to the left lower. Okay. All right, have your back for me.
Okay.
And then exhale for me. Exhale all the way. I got you. Breathe in deep for me. Exhale. There we go. There we go. Breathe in deep for me. Exhale. Nice. And then exhale. Other side for me. Good. All right, face that for me. What's your position throughout most of your work?
I sit at my
Upright,
desk a lot.
desk?
Yeah, and I'm on my feet a lot. Like, it's either standing a lot at long periods of time or sitting for long periods of time.
Gotcha. I'm trying to figure out why that right side was more time spent. Maybe.
And I do sleep on my side a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
So
You think you're on that right side? You think you're on your left?
I go back and forth.
Okay, good. You might find that
Throughout
right
the
side
night.
more comfortable because it's
Mhm.
it's like you're already partially tilted to the left. That's why the right side was more pushed out, because when you tilt to the left, the right side lifts up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. There we go, real easy. There we go, good. I got you. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Just try to loosen this up a little bit. Yeah, the more forward the head goes, also the more that sort of leverages that upper back to go backwards. So getting the head back will reduce that also. There we go. So just holding your back. Like, there we go. I got you. Real gentle. I got you. Real easy. Just try to go a little. There you go. A little deeper. There you go. I've been working on you for. I know you had an accident last year, right?
August, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a year.
And then, but I was treating you a little bit before that too.
Mhm. Yeah, I think we're right about a year this summer sometime.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
My back is much cleaner.
There we go. Yeah. Everything just moves effort. There should, the biggest difference I'll feel on a person's spine that's been working with me for a while is that there should be an effortlessness to the arch. There shouldn't be like I'm out there pushing on concrete. It should just be supple and it just wants to mold easily. Doesn't require, my first few visits with a patient, my hand's like shaking and it's like, a lot of resistance. There shouldn't be any resistance in here. There you go. Yeah, a little knot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that in a second when you're sitting, but that's.
Yeah, that side stays tight a lot.
Mhm.
That tendon down the side of my neck.
Mhm.
Constantly, I'm like rubbing on it.
We'll see if we GuaSha in a second. Let me see. I got you, Jen. All right, that's good. Yeah, be sit. Could be old scar tissue or injury from the whiplash. It's like the body doesn't heal with the same material we're born with, and I didn't write the rule book. It's like the body's born with gold and it heals with copper, and I don't know. So part of what we're trying to do is blend it together again, so you don't see the scar tissue anymore. That's what she's trying to rub right there. It's just that kind of injury in there. She feels it as a knot. It's sort of a bound up area that's trying to protect the joint underneath. Runner? I gotcha.
But never like an athlete, really.
Like when you're running, we would say you're a more efficient runner with your chest stiff. We'll see if we want to use this. Nobody runs.
Oh, okay, here.
My wife likes this.
Giving you? Oh, okay.
Nobody
Oh, no,
runs
not
Like this.
like this.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a certain TV show. Everybody runs, you know,
Mhm.
as wasting as little energy as possible. And I remember watching a video of Michael Johnson analyzing, Usain Bolt, and he was saying how, you know, when you're running the technique, or at least speed running, you want your chest to be as immobilized as possible.
Mhm.
And you waste less energy, you're more efficient, you can run for longer, you can run faster, and you just want your arms and legs
Just
pivoting.
yeah.
So in your formative years, it was encouraged for this area to be, how many years did you run?
Probably about 5 years.
Right, and then how many hours a week probably? I mean, just average, who knows?
10, 15.
Oh my gosh, okay, so.
I mean, I was running probably
so a
like
lot of-
4 miles a day or so.
Right, so this area was really encouraged to be stiff.
Mhm.
You know, you can, like I said, you're faster, you waste less energy, and you're a better runner, and, you know, unless you're going to a chiropractor to keep that suppleness, then other areas, your lower back, your lower neck, somebody has to pick up the burden
Mhm.
from the encouragement of that area being rigid. It's just not necessary. It doesn't ask a lot of range of motion. If anything, you watch like Michael Johnson from the 90s, his chest is like just hovering.
Mhm.
It's like his chest is just in one plane, and his arms and legs are moving all over the place. So, yeah, just it's about balance. There's strength is great, flexibility is great, but it's a balance between the two that we need.
No, the left is where I had that big knot, I think. But my
Mhm.
right is what stays kind of like
Stiff.
sore. Yeah,
I gotcha.
but it's really worked its way. I mean, it's
Mhm.
really gone down. I mean, I used to be like, when you did this, you could barely like lay here.
End of the world, right? Right now it's people. Are you hurting her? Are you going that hard? You know, at the beginning,
Well, I'm real squirmy anyway.
right? Well, at the beginning, it's like, Ed, I'm dying here, and then by the end, now I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm working on you. Like, Ed, you used to talk a lot. Now you're so quiet because I'm working like
Focused.
still. There shouldn't be any soreness in here anywhere. It's.
I just feel real crunchy up there.
There we go. There we go. It's like little tangles, we call them crunchies, but it's like the fibers heal with little pieces of glue and adhesions form, and when an area doesn't need to move, it doesn't, you know, doesn't stay loose. It ends up just binding up on itself. I think of it almost like my headphone wires. Have you ever seen like headphone wires that don't just like get tangled? It's like the chaos theory. They just tangle
And not
themselves.
in your hair.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. When I start thinking about old boyfriends or old enemies, old people that caused you grief and pain,
I just sort of keep.
Just-
After a moment, I'm like, just keep breathing. Just keep.
stored them as memories in physical stress. We call it like psychosomatic. Like there's actually a physical manifestation of a mental
Oh, I totally believe that.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's buried in here.
Harbor your negative emotions in your body.
Like a common thing that'll happen is like I remember they told us about this in school, and then I was like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then I had a patient that, you know, say she had an injury, and then she raised her shoulders to compensate to the injury, right? And then I pushed her shoulders down, and all of a sudden, you know, she's just outpouring a lot of emotion. And I was like, I of course thought I heard her. I was like, you okay? You okay? She's like, no, I feel really great. I just
Had a big release.
Right, no, it was like it was just energy that she had stored in her back. You know, I think even like in yoga and the savasanas, and when you're relaxing, and they're like, okay, relax your toes, relax your knees, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're right. I am just holding
Yeah. A lot of
tension
Yeah.
in my knee or my hip, or you know, and you didn't even realize it until you almost thought about the area, and then you drew mental attention to it, and you could release that stored up energy. We're so normalized to bending forward, and you bend the body back, and the body's like, what in the world are you doing to me? You know, and so I try to explain it to patients that, you know, you're going to run into things. You're going to run into, you know, the first dozen times you get on a Denneroll, you know, any injury that you've avoided will now be confronted. And
Oh, that's for sure.
yeah, that's this guy. Yeah. And then to some degree we manage them. It's like a, you know, a cavity in a tooth never completely goes away. You know, never ever really changes at all. But you know, it's injuries in our back, we can manage them. We blend them. We balance them a little better. Right there. You right-handed?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe just more like the mouse hand or the you know, the computer or the writing. Yeah. Right there. That's where when she was standing right here, Alyssa, this is where I was seeing your back was sort of popped up. We gotta constantly manage this. There we go. Right there, we go, yeah. Is he ever going to stop? Back for a second. There we go. I'm going to check this. There we go. Yeah, right there. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, oh boy, yeah.
Now it
Huge.
pops back when you push against it.
There's that. If I hit it, she had an injury and then she put her shoulder blade over it. Like, Ed won't notice it. Right there it is. You almost can, I wonder if you can hear it clicking. Yeah, right there, there's the, right there, you see my thumb move sort of. That's what's in there. There's a, alright. We'll see if we can untangle that a little bit and make that, yeah, right there. It's just, it's time. I think it's like, was it, it's the character from Lion King, is it? The monkey. It is time, Rafiki.
Oh, yeah.
It is time.
It is so time.
There it is. You know, Mark, really, if you notice with the GuaSha, it only comes out really where there's toxins. You can comb, her back will be more specific cases. I've cleaned out most of the other areas. And then where the most mark will be where there's the oldest injury, and in her case, let's say it's right here, you know, right, this your oldest probably injury was right in here, and it's like a stain. It takes the longest amount of work to untangle it. Down into this rib here. Yeah, these rib heads over here just didn't need to function that well, and then they just built up with all this lactic acid. Either that or you have some injuries you haven't told me about. More
I mean,
falls.
other than just like randomly like falling down or something in life, and the
No
couple
skiing.
car accidents.
Skiing.
I mean, I've been skiing like twice, so nothing crazy.
But it's starting to break down. It's like multiple little.
Not one giant click now.
Not
There's
one.
like a few little ones.
It's more spread out now. But yeah, right there, it's that right there was the epicenter, and it's more
Huh.
spread out now. This. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right. I don't know, a quarter, a fifth of the mark on the left side. You know, that right side's really.
Mm.
Yeah, that's about all you're going to get out of that. The more out of alignment an area is, the more work the area has to do. It's like when you're carrying something, you generally bring it close to your body, right? You don't have to do as much work. If you carry something outstretched, the muscles have to work a lot harder. So when you were standing, this was standing, or was out of alignment, or what we call subluxated. It was out of its normal position. Sub means less than, luxated means dislocation. So it's a word that we tried to use to not say dislocated. It was sub-dislocated, right? So her shoulder's not dislocated, it's out of alignment. The car's in the garage, but it's crooked. And so we're trying to center it, and then that'll take the stress off the tissue. That muscle that's tight in there really can only get, relaxed by fixing the alignment. And that's where the stretching and and then part of her job requires her to, Alyssa, you're having to stretch forward every day. And so every day you have to pay your debts. You have to undo that forward stretching by stretching backwards and
Put a strap across my chair, across my
Right.
chest.
And then the bra makes this area more bound up. It's another thing that binds up your chest. And guys have broader shoulders, larger traps, and so our guys usually have a tighter area kind of down here. Women a little bit higher up here, but same sort of game of the middle back quits. Whether it be the middle upper or the middle lower back, it stiffens up, and then the lower back and lower neck get aged more quickly.
Just you pressing on that, I already feel it in my hand.
You going to work on Monday? What happened to you?
Just have to wear sleeves for a few days.
Right there, deltoid, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good knot right there. There you go. Let that go. There you go. If it's too much, let me know.
Okay.
I'm almost there, Ed. I'm ready for you to just stop.
No, that actually, like I said earlier, it hurts so good. That rush of blood is such a relief.
Do you ever get itchy or like that?
Yeah, it gets a tingly, kind of itchy feeling.
Yeah, right there, even your brachioradialis a little bit there on the top.
Yeah, you told me once before when you were feeling around in there that it felt dry, I think was
Is that what I said?
the word that you used.
Just the tendons get. There's like a lubricant that keeps the tendons from catching on each other, and so, there's, that's what's trapped in there. Yeah, I know. No.
I'm trying to count 10.
Well, it directly correlates with where the most pain is. You obviously I can feel the glue that's in there, and then that's where she's about wanting to jump. And the other areas, it doesn't hurt. Most places don't hurt. There's no glue in there, and on specific points where there's build up, that's where you're gonna have the most discomfort. You see even on your feet, how your feet, see how you stand on your left leg more. See how this is more pronounced.
Yeah.
The side that you stand on will be more.
Get that lovely. I was always telling me to get those foot spacers, but
I know the toe spacers, yeah.
yeah, those.
Okay, I got your leg, I got you. Okay, that's good. Let me have your leg, I got you. There we go, good. There we go.
I used to get crazy ear infections when I was a kid.
Really?
All the time, yeah. I got tubes put in when I was, I think my mom said I was like 6 or 8 months
Oh,
old.
sorry.
And every time you work on my neck, I feel a lot better.
Feel
Like
it
I
here.
can feel it.
Neck drain.
Mm-hmm.
Super gentle. I got you. I got you next. I got you. Breathe in deep for me. Just real gently bring you up a little bit. We're just stretching. There we go. Breathe deep. Exhale. Oh yeah, this is lovely, Ed. Exhale. There we go. You okay? You okay? Exhale. There we go. Okay.
It's just so different. It didn't even hurt. I think I just had like a reaction because I didn't know what you were doing exactly.
We're gonna bring your arms up for me and then put your forehead onto your forearms. So keep your forehead to forearm contact.
Okay.
There we go. I got you. Breathe in deep. We're gonna sort of push in this right side here a little bit. I got you. Good. I got you. Breathe in deep. Exhale. There we go. Good. You did good. We got it.
Cool.
Yeah, sort of pushing in those ribs a little bit. And then just keep pressing back with that. Keep pressing back. Press back. There we go. Good. There we go. There we go. And the same thing. Keep pressing back. Keep pressing back right here. Back. There you go. Good.
Those are good clicks.
Alrighty then. Alright, just go ahead and tilt your head left a little bit for me. Tilt your head left. So a little bit there. A little bit. I got you. Just tilt your head left a little bit for me. There, good.
Oh, I see. While you pull. Got it.
I got you. Alright, tilt your head left to the left a little bit. Okay, good. There's not much glue up there. Already worked it out of there. Alright, so keep resist, tilt the head right a little bit. There we go, good. There we go. Yeah, it's good. There's not much. She's already cleared it. Yeah, much better. Much, this whole right side of your back was popping out. And it's much better right now. And then the idea now would be to go home and then we put that Denneroll thoracic guy, lumbar guy, and then mold. You got it all loosened up now, and then you'll feel sometimes a little crooked on it because this side is a little bit more posterior.
Yeah.
And so I would go home and then stretch this middle back, and that's how you're going to work that in.
Okay.
All right, you're all set today.